Hello everyone, Benji here with Binge Watch Gaming, and welcome to a game I'm not ready for, but also kinda asking for it. Welcome to Midnight Evil, a game where we must ward off evil by reading a book. That's all I know about the game, actually. As the clock approaches midnight, William Crinkle was fast asleep. I'm glad. Keep it that way. And then the game ends. But of course, it's never that easy. The night was different, though. Okay. He woke to a strange sound coming from the attic. Well, that's not good. That picture is also alarming. Why would Mom and Dad have that picture? As he climbed the stairs, he felt something. Yep. Well, this is where you turn around and go back to bed. He had never seen this chest before. Well, this is where you messed up, kid. You're just asking for it at this point. Just an innocent book. So he thought. The night his life would change forever. Nathan Sanders presents Midnight Evil. I'm not ready for this. I'm gonna try though my best though. We're gonna complete this. We are gonna try to complete this before Christmas. I don't know if it's a long game or a short game. I know nothing about it, except that you have to read a book. Oh. Oh. Long before the night. Wait. Oh. Long before the night. Wait, long before the first human stood upright and took their... Why is it not working? Hello? Long before the night, the first human stood upright, took their place in the world, there was a beautiful land that was ruled by what many came to call the Fae. Is it not working? I don't get it. Hello? Preface. I don't get it. Why is it not working? Huh. Long before the first human stood upright and took their place in the world. Hello? Alright, we are back. So I'm having trouble trying to use the mic, so we're gonna use the narrator mode.
Long before the first humans stood upright and took their place in the world, there was a beautiful land that was ruled by what many would come to call the Fae.
Hey, whatever makes it easy for me.
These ancient beings were worshipped by mankind, but they were also feared. Humans were right to be afraid, for there were many different creatures that lived in the darkness, watching us, waiting.
Okay. Now, are the Fae after me? Is that what I'm getting at?
Most were harmless enough, amusing themselves by causing mischief and playing pranks on humans
As
that
one
crossed their
would.
paths. However, some had more sinister intentions. The Earthling, for example, have developed a liking for the taste of human children. These monsters are small, unnaturally fast, and impossible to kill.
Who's there? What's that? Don't do that. How do I move?
It was an unlucky tragedy for my people that we decided to build our village here, right in the middle of the Earthlings' territory.
Oh.
We have lost so many of our children over this past year, There aren't enough tears in this world to weep for their loss.
Okay. So we messed up.
Thankfully, though, my grandmother taught me well in the ways of my druid ancestors.
Mm-hmm.
I may not be able to kill the little beasts, but I was able to work out a spell that binds them to this book.
I was gonna say something, don't do that. And we open the book. Great.
I can only hide it and pray that it never falls into the hands of a child. If you are reading this, know that I'm truly sorry for the demons that have now been passed on to you. Opening the book will have awakened them, and I'm sure they will be ravenously hungry.
Okay. I'm also seeing 3 vents in the door. And closet. And candle.
Once the book is opened, you must read it out loud from beginning to end.
Tried, but it didn't work.
In order to return them to their magical prison. Be watchful. They only attack if you don't see them coming.
Weeping
Most
angels.
importantly, once you finish this book, keep it hidden so that no one ever opens it again.
You bear your sweet bippy, I will.
WIGS-FM 98.7 Game Talk.
Hello, darkness.
Hi.
My name is Nick Gloom. It's just me tonight.
Okay.
As you guys know, we answer game questions and talk tips and tricks.
Ooh.
Well, Nate usually does. I don't really play most of those games.
Makes sense.
Anyway,
It's
let's
not
get
for
to the
everyone.
phones. First caller, you're on the air.
Hi, Nick. I'm wondering, how do I beat the final boss in Terminator Destruction?
Oh, that's
How would
okay.
I know that?
Oh, I don't know.
I'm stuck here working for crap money. I still can't afford to buy new Atari games.
You're a bad host.
Would you like me to page Nate?
I don't
Here's
know.
the thing. Like I said, I'm working here. I don't usually come on the radio. So, I don't have as much of a bedside manner as Nate
I
does.
can tell. You have a dick.
But it's totally fine. I bought a new OBasic book, which is the programming language for Atari, since I can't afford to buy my own Atari games, and I'm working on my own homebrew game.
Cool.
The pending title is Evillll Midnight, where I'm not sure what you're going to have to do yet, but I think it's going to be a horror game, and it's going to be at nighttime,
Of
and it's
course,
going to be
midnight.
evil.
Yeah, of course.
Basically, you would do something all night,
Ah,
and then you would win.
that's what I'm doing.
It's kind
right
of like
now.
working here. I try to keep my head down all night, but Janet asks me to go on the air. And I'm always getting asked to do stuff.
I feel like you're gonna get fired after this.
The more stuff I get asked to do, the more I get anxious and panic. It's a vicious cycle.
Is this some kind of life lesson? I just want to play Terminator.
Here's the thing.
Never mind, we won't know here's the thing anymore.
Little Maggie
Oh.
O'Brien was the first. The children had been playing in Hogan's Forest when they all heard a noise. Sensing no danger because there were so many of them, 12 children in all decided to investigate the source of the strange sound.
As one shouldn't do, actually. Why would you go investigate?
As they all searched high and low, they soon realized that Maggie was missing. Frantically, they began searching for their friend. She was a small girl who loved to play hide and seek. Her big
This is also making me very tense.
Her big brother Colin insisted that she was probably hiding somewhere, safe and giggling to herself as she watched everyone search for her. The sun
Maybe?
sank low in the sky and the forest grew dark. The children, frustrated and panicked, ran back to the village to alert their parents that little Maggie was nowhere to be found.
Oh. Okay, we're just gonna keep going.
That's when everyone lit torches and spread out through the woods calling her name.
Okay, so we know what you look like now. You look like... What? Why? I just get a head blood rush? Or did I get a whiplash? Okay. That was
The
random.
little girl's mother sobbed desperately as we all inspected every corner of those woods in hopes of finding her.
I'm watching your window now. You can we close that window? That would be nice if we could close it.
Her brother kept
I
searching,
feel like that'd be
tears streaming
something you
down his
should
cheeks.
do.
I'm her big brother.
He said, rubbing his eyes.
Yeah?
I'm supposed to make sure nothing happens to her.
You're doing a bad job at it. Just like I'm doing a bad job making sure my
It's not
surroundings
your
are
fault,
safe.
Colin, I assured him. We'll find her soon, and she'll be no worse for the wear.
Yeah, sure. She became num-num,
He
didn't
nodded, forced a smile, and we all continued looking.
Great. Oh god, it's doing thing. Why is it doing that?
The moment I heard him scream, I knew he had found her. Or rather, what was left of her, which wasn't much.
So now we're watching the window and door.
We were sure it was Maggie because she had worn her favorite hair bow that day.
Okay.
Her father plucked the pink ribbon from the body and fell to his knees, wailing into the darkness.
You little freaks, where y'all
Poor
at?
Colin tried to tell us then. He said that she had been covered in what he described as little green men.
Yeah. These guys are little green men. He's not lying to you.
They were fat and green?
He stammered.
Why did that scare me?
With bright glowing eyes. They were biting off bits of skin and flesh.
That's descriptive.
No one believed the lad. We all attributed the horrible ordeal to a hungry wild animal.
Well, as an adult does.
Of course, what else could it possibly be?
Sup?
Scooping up what remained of little Maggie, the townsfolk set to work.
Why is it doing that?
Scooping up what remained of little Maggie, the townsfolk set to work preparing for her funeral.
So, luckily this premises is
We
just
had
Five Nights
no
at Freddy's,
idea the
luckily.
horrors that lay ahead. I thought to myself how strange her wounds looked.
Stop that.
I couldn't help but think back to what Colin had
So now
said
they're in the
about
closet.
little green men. It made me think of the stories my grandmother used to tell me.
Keep going.
She said that our druid ancestors spoke of tiny creatures that lived long ago in the swamps and marshes surrounding our lands.
Okay.
The Urklings, she called them.
Well, they're really irking my tater, I can tell you that much.
There were 3 tribes, each being their own breed of evil.
What was that? Don't do that. Stop.
One tribe, I recall, she said were green and... One tribe, I recall, she said were green and fat.
Is this saying like I'm in danger, maybe? Because I'm not seeing no danger.
One tribe, I recall, she said were green and fat. They would lure children away from safety and feast on their flesh.
As one does. Oh,
We didn't live near any swamps. Surely the boy's mind was playing tricks on him. Besides, the Urklings weren't real. They couldn't be.
sure. Oh, another one done. Anyway, why are we passing out? Okay, we're just gonna keep going for it. We're doing good. We're steamrolling along. Chapter 2.
Maggie O'Brien's funeral was just what anyone would expect.
So I wonder if we can stop them from opening the
Everyone
door.
did their best to comfort the grieving parents. Colin kept to himself.
Well, yeah, he kept to himself. Of course he did. Also, why is that just like whiplash, basically? Is that what I'm giving myself here?
Everyone assumed it was because he blamed himself.
What was that? Window?
After his sister had been laid to rest, I came to him to ask him how he was doing.
Probably not good again because
He looked up at
he
me,
found his sister,
eyes
you
red
know.
from either crying,
Num
lack
num
of
don.
sleep, or a combination of the two, and said,
I really saw them. The little green monsters.
I don't know why this is freaking me out.
My heart ached as I put my arms around the boy.
Again, I don't know why it's doing that.
I kept telling myself that seeing his little sister in pieces couldn't have been easy for him. He was just...
What was that? What was that?
He was just in shock. The stories of the Earthlings were only told to scare children into doing what they were told. That was all.
Okay, so there's no stopping them.
The first thing my grandmother told me about the Earthlings was that there were 3 tribes. The green ones had round bellies and piercing blue eyes. She said they could be heard if you walked deep in the swamp at night.
What was that? Y'all just juking on me, aren't y'all?
They would laugh and sing as they danced around their tiny campfires, which would appear only as tiny flickering lights through the trees.
You know what? You were funny, you were spooky at
They
first,
were
and
the
now you're just
least evil
annoying.
of the 3 tribes, but every bit as evil. The red ones were more temperamental and even faster than their green cousins.
No.
They didn't sing or dance around campfires, and their celebrations were a bit more gruesome.
Okay.
They prefer to eat children from the inside out.
Oh, that's
It
nice
was
to know.
even thought by some that they were only red because they were stained by the blood of their victims.
Are we gonna have to deal with red ones now?
Fiery red, bristle-like hairs sprouted from the tops of their heads, and their glowing yellow eyes seemed cold and calculating.
I don't like how you're bringing red ones into this.
The pale
And now pale.
Earthlings were in another class altogether. They had
Oh, no.
They had white skin and wild, untamed blue hair that flowed out in every direction.
My control doll.
The most unsettling thing about them was that they had no eyes at all,
Oh,
yet they somehow were the most keen and efficient killers of the 3.
nice. Gee, thanks. I hate it.
Grandmother said that their long, wiry hair could somehow sense the presence and locations of children.
Oh. Stop that.
There were some things that all 3 tribes had in common. Earthlings preferred to eat after midnight and would only attack if the child didn't make direct eye contact with them.
Oh, they have anxiety like me.
I reassured myself that the O'Brien girl being
Well,
attacked
we're all
barely
doomed.
after
I'm doomed
sunset
anyways.
meant that she had to have been the victim of a wild animal attack.
What's that? Stop making these weird noises. I don't understand what you're doing.
A few of the men in the village came together to hunt down the beast that killed the girl. They came back 2
Gotcha.
days later, carrying the carcass of a large wolf. The whole village breathed a sigh of relief, and a big celebration was held. The only one besides myself that remained anxious was Colin.
Looks like Uncle Ted.
Looking at his face that night, I knew that he believed the creatures that killed Maggie were still out there, waiting. He was right.
Another chapter down. Oh boy.
WIGS-FM 98.7 Game Talk.
Oh boy, it's this guy again.
Hello, darkness.
Hello.
Welcome to the top of the hour. Again, I'm your host, Nick Gloom, filling in for Nate tonight. That was an interesting hour, I must say.
No, not really.
I don't know, Janet. I feel like these kids don't like me.
Yeah, no, I don't.
Hey, Janet, do you like me?
No, she probably don't either.
And she's walking away, folks.
Yeah. Thanks,
Anyway, caller, you're on the air.
Hey, Nick. Just calling in, wanted to say that you suck.
I just had a feeling that was coming. I feel like I'm not as approachable as Nate is.
You're not. Not at all.
Oh, yeah. So anyway, I forgot there's a sponsor slot I was supposed to fill last hour.
Well, you suck at that, too.
This one goes out to all you greasy, pizza-faced listeners. Are you tired of popping pimples?
Ew, gross.
Do some zits appear over and over and you have to keep popping them?
Gross.
Kind of like that popular video game, Mole Whacker? From the creators of Simple Pimple
refer pimples
comes the
to
revolutionary
Mole Whacker,
cream,
please.
Pimple Buster. The all-in-one, scientifically formulated pimple-destroying cream. Call 155-PIM-PLES. But hurry before supplies run out. That's 155-PIMPLES. You know, Janet, I think evillll Midnight could use some Mole Whacker inspiration.
There you go.
Something to keep the player on their toes.
Yeah.
Or at least that last prank caller could drink some of that Pimple Buster. I don't know what it is.
Me. I don't know what is with your attitude either, dude. You are interesting to say the least.
The
Chapter
next day,
3.
Maggie's mother visited her daughter's grave, discovering something that was more than a little strange. The earth...
God, you're fast.
The earth on the grave was disturbed, as if something had clawed its way out. I couldn't help but remember what grandmother had said about the red Urklings.
Uh-huh.
They would burrow inside their victims and eat their way out. Could it be that we brought a whole tribe of them right into the village without even knowing it?
Oh, no, maybe.
The answer would come soon enough.
Great. Wait, so is all 3 of them trapped in here then?
Jacob McLaren was found torn to shreds in his bed the following morning.
Well, that's horrible.
Obviously, a wild animal hadn't attacked him inside his own house.
Well, yeah.
Another devastated family and another funeral this soon after Maggie didn't sit well with anyone.
Oh my god.
The atmosphere became even more tense and uncomfortable.
Yeah, like
I
right now.
insisted on inspecting Jacob's remains myself just to reassure myself that there was nothing hiding inside.
That's probably not going to get a good look on a lot of people if someone sees you just digging through. There's nothing hiding in here.
Colin approached me afterwards, asking what I was looking for. I told him it was nothing, but he knew better.
Of course he did. Oh my god, you're red. You are aggressive. Of course. Now I have to deal with the blind one next.
You believe me about the monsters, don't you?
His young face as determined as he spoke.
You're the only one that doesn't look at me like I'm crazy.
My god. Guys are aggressive.
I swallowed hard, started to deny it, but the words caught in my throat, and as much as I tried, I couldn't lie.
Great. They're working together.
Listen, I put my hands on his shoulders. I don't think you're crazy, but we need to be sure of what we're dealing with before we spark a full-blown panic.
He's got a point.
Tell me exactly what happened. Colin took a deep breath, working up his nerve.
Be gone.
It was so dark, but I had a good torch. I called her name over and over. She didn't answer.
Oh, that finger scared me. I thought it was something else, if you know
Then
what I
heard
mean, from
something.
those red
It sounded
fellers.
like chewing. I took a
Just 2? Okay.
took a few more steps and I saw her laying there, all over her with these fat little green monsters. They had mouthfuls of pointy teeth that looked like needles and massive clawed hands. Just then a twig snapped under my foot and they all stopped what they were doing and looked right at me. That's when I
You know,
That's when I screamed, and they scattered.
You really like, throwing me off.
They were gone before any of the grown-ups got to me.
You look like Pennywise. The Pennywise is a goblin.
His eyes filled with tears at the memory.
Please, tell me what they are.
Dude, I can't even tell you if I
He
knew.
was no more than 11 or 12, having just lost his sister and now his friend. No one had believed him when he tried to tell us before. It couldn't have been
This
easy,
seems a little
but he
too
opened up to
easy.
me.
Oh,
I felt it only right that I tell him what I knew. We sat together by the bonfire late into the night, and I told him all the old stories. Unfortunately, the one thing that my grandmother hadn't mentioned was how to get rid of them.
great. Grandma's useless. Thanks, Grandma. Not my grandma. You good. You probably don't even watch my channel.
Looking into the flames, I got an idea. I knew
Okay, they got real close.
I knew that most unholy creatures were repelled by fire.
Well,
Colin folded his arms.
we would just have to test what happens to an earthling when it's on fire.
Yeah. We'll see. Is that 123 Slaughter Me Street? How long are we in here now? I think we're gonna end it right here now. We'll get to the next part next time. Like I said, I don't know how many parts this is gonna be. But I thought it was gonna be Christmas Eve, but I was a little wrong here. But you know what? It's interesting to say the least. Hopefully, I can get my mic working and go in with this. If not, we're gonna have to deal with the narrator. Kind of funky trying to talk and have them talk over them, but we're making do. Anyways, I was hoping you all enjoyed today's episode. This has been Binge with Binge Watch Gaming. Y'all take it easy.